residents of Kingston and St. Andrew are calling on the Jamaica Public Service, JPS, to remove damaged light poles and replace them with new ones. A resident over in central Kingston expressed that the community members in and around that area are worried that dangerous light poles that have been left unkept by JPS are endangering their lives.
For instance, the poles, we have a lot of kids in the community. And the kids in the community, they play more time. Sometimes they're out here on the street, while sometimes they don't out here. So for instance, like a post like this now, at any time it can fall from under the root, it can start decay from under the root. So our kids can go there at any moment, and when they go there at any moment, it fall down upon them. If it don't fall down upon them, it can cause fire. It can drop on the building and cause fire. Recently, and a long time, me live here, but from I come here, come live here, I saw me see it. Alright, for instance, say if JPS could have just come and change the post and run proper light and fix the post and so forth. You understand? Because the light them go on and off and them are dim, and more time them dim affect. You understand? So it no look good.
Another resident is urging the Lightening Park company to do something immediately to ensure the safety of residents, especially children.
So it's very bad, very why sometimes I look for it, we're afraid for all pass. Afraid for pass. Afraid for when the local ones are around in the community. Stay bad as you can see. We are beg JPS, police to hurry up and come fix it. To me about 15 years now, sir.
15 years now?
Yeah, maybe longer.
In the meantime, the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, says that residents in Harbour St. Andrew are experiencing less unplanned power outages following a system upgrade project valued at 68 million Jamaican dollars that was concluded in December 2020. Now, the utility company says the duration of these outages have also been reduced. The company has reported that for the period January to August 2021, the frequency of unplanned outages has been reduced by 72%, while the average duration of an unplanned outage has been reduced by 75% compared to the corresponding period in 2020. Additionally, approximately 370 smart LED streetlights have also been installed, replacing the old HPS bulbs, making the community now 90% LEDs. The project involved the installation of new poles, wires, transformers, and other equipment along roadways, and the retiring of electrical circuits and poles from backyards. JPS says this upgrade has afforded its teams easier access to the network to conduct maintenance and emergency activities. A release also stated that the installation of smart LED streetlights has also improved lighting in the area as the company leverages advanced technology. Still making the news tonight, Jamaica recorded 51 new COVID-19 cases and 19 deaths, increasing the infection total now to 86,507 and the death toll from the virus to 2,053. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that the new cases comprise 28 females and 23 males, ranging in age from 6 to 100 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew with 19 cases, St. Catherine recorded 10 cases, St. Mary 8, Clarendon 6, Portland and Westmoreland recorded 3 cases each, while St. Anne and St. James recorded 1 case each. Now the deceased are comprised of 14 fatalities from Hanover, 2 fatalities each from St. Anne and St. Catherine, while 1 fatality was recorded in St. James. The deaths occurred between July 31 and October 10, 2021. In the meantime, 150 additional persons recovered from the virus in the last 24 hours, increasing the total of recovered persons now to 54,719. Continuing with the news tonight, the NCB Financial Group has become the latest private sector company to issue a vaccine mandate for its staff. The mandate was issued by way of a staff circular dated yesterday, October 12, over the signature of the company's group CEO, Patrick HYLTON. The financial conglomerate says all employees of the NCB Financial Group and its wholly owned subsidiaries in Jamaica, whether working in the office or remotely, are required to share their vaccination card by October 31. Now, NCB employees who have not received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine by the end of the month will be required to present a negative PCR test by Wednesday of each week. The PCR testing requirement will take effect on November 3 and will be at the employee's expense. The mandate makes an exception for employees who may be unable to be vaccinated for medical reasons. Those employees must provide a medical certificate for inspection of NCB's assigned medical practitioner by October 31. Employees who do not comply with the vaccination or testing requirements will be required to take the days on which they are absent from work as unpaid leave. NCB says vacation days may also be used in lieu of unpaid days with the permission of the employee's manager. As we continue with the news tonight, several students in St. James recently benefited from a donation of tablets and laptops from the Atlanta Montego Bay sister cities and the Victoria House Foundation, handed over to them during a ceremony at the Holiday Inn Resort in Montego Bay. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
The Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities and the Victoria House Foundation, in partnership with the Community Development Committee, donated tablets and laptops to students in several schools across St. James. Representative of the Victoria House Foundation, McFarling Ancato, encourages the students to take good care of the devices they have received.
COVID has changed the whole perspective of our learning, and this been globally. But the unfortunate thing about it is that those who are disadvantaged have been the most impacted by this whole COVID thing. But we want to let you all know that we would not allow COVID to disrupt our learning. We're not going to allow COVID to, it's changed our ways of life, but we're not going to allow COVID bring us down. And so that's one of the reasons why we're doing this today. That's the reason why we want the kids to have access to these tools, and so they'll be able to do their work, they'll be able to learn, write their papers, get online, and do the things that will help them enhance their learning. But first of all, my organization, Victoria House Foundation, we started to work here with the schools in 2017 through Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities. Victoria House Foundation has just been in the loop since 2017, and we've been working with the schools as well, helping them with their technology needs. Basically, that's all we do. We try to come in and help those kids who don't have access to those basic learning tools so that they're not left behind. We don't want the kids to be left behind. We want to make sure they have what it takes to meet their potentials. Please take care of the devices. Take care of the devices so that you can always have them. Because if you don't have the devices, you're going to go back to where you were before. So we're going to be in touch with the CDC, right? And the schools as well, so we can help with the maintenance of the devices as well.
The Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities chairperson, Dr. Yvonne Smith, says this effort is to enable students to carry out their studies via the online platform.
We've been in existence since 1974. We became more active for the last 28 years. Most of you may be familiar with us because of the annual Vin Martin Health Mission that we conduct every year, except for the last 2 years because of COVID. But that's not the only thing that we do. We also have an education division for which we provide scholarships at the high school and the university level. In addition to that, we embarked on the technology portion where we partnered with Victoria House to provide technical assistance to a few high schools here in Montego Bay and some primary schools, where we equipped their technology labs with computers and started on the journey, now that COVID forced us into virtual learning, to secure and procure tablets and laptops to enable the students in the St. James area to be able to carry out their work.
Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Leroy Williams, in his remarks said that as many students face challenges due to not having a device, this gesture by the donors is well needed.
For the first time in the history of Jamaica, our students are being taught online. However, many of these students face challenges, especially those in the rural communities, because they do not have the necessary devices to facilitate the online teaching. So, I want to say to the parents who are here that when the students are presented these devices, that they need to ensure that they are cared for and they are used the correct way. So this presentation this morning by the Atlanta Montego Bay Sister City Committee and the Victoria House Foundation is a fine gesture. The Montego Bay Atlanta City's community is, I would say, the most responsive committee of all the committees that we have. They're always here with us. And I want to express special thanks to those persons who spearhead this committee.
Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett, who spoke at the handing over ceremony in the capacity of South and Central St. James Member of Parliament, said that with the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a new process in learning, the students are being equipped with the tools necessary to survive and function in this time.
It's a new process for us. It has challenges. We are providing you with tools. We're not providing you with the discipline to do, because that you have to generate. But we're saying to you that if you are committed to learning, here is a device. And we are encouraging you to learn in terms of the next steps, that if you do well through these gadgets, you can go to the other steps, which would be high school, which would be college, which would be teachers' college, which would be university, and then the sky is the limit thereafter. So I want in this context, therefore, to really thank Mr. McFarlane, O'Conta, and Dr. Smith for this partnership. And this partnership in building the human capital of this country. This partnership in preparing us to become competitive in the new world, whatever that new world emerges to be.
Minister Bartlett further announced that Adelphi is now poised for a development that involves technology and education.
Adelphi is now poised for a development that technology is going to play a big role in. And the Minister of Education and I have just concluded a discussion in relation to the building out of a education innovation town stroke city for Adelphi. We have found the land, some 25 acres that we have identified, closer to where we're building the new content stadium. I think some of you would have passed and seen that the community center element of it is already completed. We're now doing the exterior wall fencing, and then thereafter we'll deal with the seating, the lighting, the upgrading of the playfield itself, building of courts and so on. And we've just expanded and created an A1 clinic facility in the area, just finished, about to be open. We've just refurbished the police station, that it looks like a real modern facility that is appropriate for the promotion and protection of the people. And then we have I think some of you have seen already, we have put up the sign for the major road improvement program from Saltmarsh all the way to Barnet. And that is to really redefine that corridor for development.
Brianna, a student from the Adelphi Primary, thanked the donors for the devices.
On behalf of the Adelphi Primary School, as well as the other schools, my principal and Miss Yuri, I want to say a big thank you for the devices that we have received today. We will do our best to ensure these devices are put to good use by the students who do not have any, so that they will be able to do their online classes. Once again, I say thank you.
Reporting from Mellow TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for bringing us that report. Still making Mellow TV news, a burglar who broke into a house in the corporate area, which is owned by retired police commissioner Owen Ellington, has been killed. The burglar was fatally shot by police personnel who responded to a report about the break-in. A policeman who was chopped on the wrist by the burglar is in hospital receiving treatment. The burglar was reportedly killed when he attempted to search the house. He was interrupted by the police, then repeatedly used a sharp object to attack members of the JCF who went to the location. The burglar was carried to hospital and was pronounced dead a few hours later. Police reports coming into our news center are that the male burglar was clad in black pants, barefooted, of slim build, dark complexion, bald-headed, and was approximately 6 feet tall. He has been identified as 31-year-old Andrade Davis. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is investigating the incident that occurred earlier this week. In the meantime, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is urging the police to use the services of community mental health aides when responding to incidents of violence involving mentally ill persons. Now, INDECOM's Commissioner, Hugh Faulkner, was reacting to a series of reports that mentally challenged persons were fatally shot by the police after being involved in violent incidents. Mr. Faulkner says there's also a need for a program that offers institutionalized care to those who are mentally challenged. One of the latest violent incidents involving a mentally ill man occurred in St. Anne on the weekend. The man reportedly severed the head of a handcart operator and set it ablaze. He was later fatally shot when allegedly attacked a group of police officers who tried to detain him. Mr. Faulkner says INDECOM has been encouraging law enforcement officers to get in touch with community mental health response teams should they be required to respond to a violent incident involving persons who are mentally ill.
Seen instances where the community mental health team de-escalate the aggression being displayed by the mentally ill. Additionally, we have also suggested that there have been some tried and proven law enforcement strategies, usually referred to by law enforcement officers as time, cover, and distance. We accept that it is indeed a challenging situation, but we believe that the requisite strategies and with the requisite collaboration with community mental health teams, then we could reduce the incidence of injury or fatalities.
Mr. Faulkner is also urging the government to establish systems of institutional care for mentally ill persons. The Health and Wellness Ministry says it favors what it calls community-based care, where the mentally ill are not confined to an institution.
In a situation where, you have willing family members, community members, etc., to support the mentally ill to ensure that they attend the clinics on the given days per month and to ensure that the medication, etc., is taken, then all well and good. In the absence of that support infrastructure, then the institutionalized care, I believe, has a role to play. We have also advocated from elsewhere also that a forensic psychiatric facility is needed. Not sure to what extent in terms of the monthly review by the court is in progress, but again, I would need statistics to make comparative analysis.
Continuing with the news tonight, the police have so far seized a firearm and detained a number of persons for questioning in a major operation by the security forces along Yaka Avenue in Tar Hill, St. Andrew earlier today. According to police sources, the seized firearm is a Ruger 9mm pistol. Several rounds of ammunition were also seized. The operation is aimed at disrupting criminal activities in the St. Andrew South Police Division. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mellow TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe and pleasant viewing.